In an integration process after an M&A, having granular information on how to realize synergies is what will finally decide the success or failure of it. In this video, I'm going to show you how Celonis is a key piece in order to realize the synergies in an M&A in any sector, and how it can consolidate two companies in an efficient manner for you to get to your ambitious M&A objectives. I am going to pick the banking sector and the process of IT service management and credit applications as an example. Let's focus first in the IT service management process in order to explain how Celonis adds value in the pre-merger stage and enables you to, first, benchmark in real time how the process in both companies really run. Second, identify best practices inside of the organizations in order to transfer the efficiency knowledge to both companies. Third, quantify the synergy potential by applying the best practices. And last but not least, do digital twin simulations in order to see the financial and operational impact of the potential changes that you want to make in the processes of both companies. In this case, Company 1 has acquired Company 2. First, Celonis enables you to compare in real time how the processes in both companies are actually executed and derive best practices directly from this. In this analysis, we can compare how the IT service management process is actually executed and compare the main KPIs that determine the efficiency of the process. In the Process Explorer, we can observe how the process of Company 2 is composed of more extra manual steps than Company 1. As extra manual steps, in Company 2, a manual description is added, and later in the process, the cases are put in a rest state. This kind of extra manual steps add up an unnecessary complexity in the process that makes the process of Company 2 much more inefficient than the one in Company 1. Also, we can observe that the KPIs of Company 2 indicate a more inefficient process, as it has to dedicate more agents per case, and the multi-hop rate is 10% more elevated. If we apply best practices from Company 1 to Company 2, Celonis calculates a synergy of 3.24 million. Now let's see how Celonis adds value during the merger and in the post-merger state. I will show you how with Celonis you can, first, make a completely automated fit gap analysis and know with one click the root causes associated with all the execution gaps happening in real time in your process, and do benchmarking of how the processes are executed pre-merger versus post-merger. Second, take action inside Celonis in order to eliminate in an immediate way the execution gaps. Third, monitor the KPIs in order to ensure that you are getting to all the M&A objectives. In order to effectively realize the synergies and reduce the risk of harming catastrophically your KPIs in the process of integration, Celonis enables you to do real-time simulations. In this simulation, we will decrease in 20% the employees dedicated to the credit application process. As we expected, our average cost has decreased. But we have to be careful. Our application processing time has gone up by a factor of 2.5. Investigating the simulated process versus the digital twin, we notice a bottleneck in verified contract and signature, an activity with huge automation potential with automated verification technologies for documentation. Therefore, we will do a simulation where we automate this activity, reducing its processing time by 50% in the simulation. Looking at the new distributions, we see that if we only automate the validation of the contract and signature, the application processing time greatly decreases. At the same time, the cost per credit application is reduced. By intelligently eliminating the bottleneck, we are capable of processing as many cases as before with less full-time employees' time and with a quicker processing time. Now, let's see how Celonis, with its machine learning capabilities, does an automated fit gap analysis with one click. In order to make the improvement of the process faster and extremely precise, Celonis detects all execution gaps happening in real time with respect to any process model BPMN that you choose created by any consulting company or with any BPM application, as for example Vision. In this way, you can have a process repository with all the ideal processes and launch an automated analysis in order to detect in real time all the execution gaps happening with respect to the ideal process. Selecting the ideal desired process and launching the analysis, with one click, Celonis, using machine learning, detects all execution gaps or deviations happening in your process in real time and its impact in all main KPIs. We observe that the number of cases that are conforming to the desired process is of 62%, and that the damage that these deviations are having on our main process KPIs is of 6% in the leakage rate and a loss of 40% in the ratio of executed cases without rework. We can observe that the manual approval of the credit is the biggest execution gap that is happening. Clicking in this execution gap, we can see how it affects negatively to our process. Also, with machine learning, with one click, Celonis enables you to do an analysis of all root causes that are generating this execution gap. Celonis identifies the factor office as the main cause and identifies the following offices with the biggest execution gaps. But there is one office in particular that stands out for all its execution gaps. Compañía 2, Madrid, Avenida de Bruselas 67. Let's filter and inspect this office. Filtering by this office, we can observe how much the values of the main KPIs have gone down and quantify the financial loss that we're having in this office as a result of a bad integration with the established process. In this case, we're having a negative financial impact of 403,000 euros. But Celonis not only adds value in measuring how the processes are executed and knowing where are the major execution gaps. In order to empower all the employees inside both companies in order to really lead the change, Celonis enables you to take action inside the Celonis platform. Celonis detects in real time all the execution gaps happening in the process and that are harming the buyer company and the M&A KPIs. In this case, Celonis has detected that in the office of Company 2, Madrid, Glorieta de Ruiz Jiménez, the rework rate has risen from 5% to 16% in the last month, and that the conformance of the processes is significantly lower than the rest of the offices with a 61%. As a director, you can quickly send an email to the office manager pointing him out at the problem and indicating concrete actions in order to revert the situation. Also, with one click, you can enroll the manager in a mandatory training in order to improve the conformance and the results in that office. As a next step, you can go to the dashboard that monitors all the progress of the main KPIs of any process, in this case credit applications, during all the steps in an M&A, and in this way you can ensure that all the objectives of an M&A are being met and that all the clients in your company are being attended in the best possible manner all the time. You can observe that with Celonis, Company 1, the buyer, has been able to get to their objectives in all main KPIs like cost per application, number of rework steps, and more.